I have a deck request for you, and it's one of the top decks of like recent times. Dragon Rulers are much weaker than they used to. Mermills you don't see them as often anymore. Spellbooks you don't see them as often anymore. Fire Fists were, along with Mermills, the top decks before Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, and Fire Fists are still doing really, really well. And I just happen to have a Fire Fist deck request from the coolest Jedi, who's really cool and is a Jedi, so here is my Fire Fist deck. I'd say most of the choices I have are quite basic, like with Tensin, Tenki, Tensu, uh, Dragon, Bear, Gorilla, Wolfberg. Wolfberg is not an old deck, but Wolfberg's in quite a few. Then some common spells and trap, bottomless trapple, mirror force, compulsory, Book of Moon, duality. Um, what I do have in this deck is one copy of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Boar, which is a tuner monster. Um, and it can only be used for the fire type synchros. And with since I don't see myself using Max C as synchro material, uh, that would only leave level 8 synchro, since the only other monsters in my deck are also level 4. And the only really useful level 8 synchros that are fire attribute are Crimson Blader and what's it called? Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Kirin. And Kirin can be good. I just haven't used it myself yet, so probably I could even get rid of it, put in the second Crimson Blader, or just an extra rank 4 Xyz. I don't know yet, but Crimson Blader is definitely useful every now and then. And more is a nice card, so just at one, I don't really feel that it should be more. It's Bear, Gorilla, Dragon, Wolfberg that do the trick usually. Boar is just a nice little extra at one. And my opponent's playing Fortune Ladies, and I'm like, okay, I can bottomless this Earth, but I'm like, nah, I expect him to attack into me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait until the damage step, and then play that nice little booster called Fire Formation. 10 cents, so that's plus 700, putting me at 25, and then 10 cents plus 10 to another 400, puts me at 29, 500 damage. And the opponent quits for some reason. I think they don't see that they can win anymore. So yeah, let's go to the deck profile. Let's see what my deck looks like.
You know what I just noticed? The narration of the duel just now wasn't with my normal microphone on my headset. It was actually my webcam microphone. It seems that Camtasia and like pretty much everything that take the webcam microphone as a default, and I am used to having the headset as a default microphone, so it it sounded a bit different, but it worked, so I kept it in. Not a problem. Here is my Fire Fist deck. We have 3 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear, 1 Boar. Would it load, please? For some reason, for the past week, when I'm in the deck constructor, the cards load really slow. So if the pictures don't load, I'm sorry about that. Well, I will still go over the names. So 1 Boar can't be used except for the synchro summon of a fire monster. Well, as if you're using it as synchro material anyway. But when it's destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, you can special summon 1 level 4 Fire Fist monster from your deck, except Boar. So that's a nice effect you can have. You can like just have work first turn. You can also set it to get a card. And once per turn, when a Fire Fist monster is special summoned from your extra deck, you can set a Fire Formation spell directly from your deck. So like if you have Boar, and then like you also have Wolfberg and Dragon, and then you use both of them to summon Tiger King, then you can use Boar's effects to get, I don't know, Tensu to summon Gorilla to then synchro with Boar into Crimson Blader. Could be. So it does have some nice effects. Fire Fist Dragon, the only Firefish you actually saw me use in the duel video just now. 3 Wolfbark. Some people use them at 2, some people don't use them at all. I do like it. Like a few days ago I was in Rated, and this Wolfbark I was able to just keep using Wolfbarks and Wolfbarks and Wolfbarks every turn, and like I was bringing out Crimson Blader, and I was bringing out Cardinal, and then Tiger King, and then like Silent Lunar Arc, and then another Tiger King, and it was crazy. It was fun. I didn't bring out Cardinal with Wolfbark. What am I talking about? I can't even do that. That was like Gorilla Bear or something. Whatever. 3 Wolfbarks because it's easy to summon a monster from the grave like that. 2 Gorilla, you can use 3, but I'm like, Bear is more useful because you get its effect off, like the one that sets a spell trap from the deck. You get it off easier than Gorilla. And let's see, Bear destroys monsters, whereas Gorilla destroys spells and traps. And I find the monster destroying effect a little more useful as well, so that's why Gorilla's at 2. I do have 2 Maxi, because there's still quite a lot of special summoning these days, so these give me some extra draws. 3 Tanky as a searcher, 3 Tensen to allow an extra summon. And if you have multiple Tensen, sure, they don't stack, well, except for the 100 attack boost, but the extra summons don't stack. But what you can then do is like use it for like the effect of, I don't know, dragon or bear or gorilla or whoever to send it to the grave. 1 Gyoko to stop certain spells and traps that you're afraid of from being used. Now note that if they have multiple face down cards, there is a way to get around Gyoko, because Gyoko says that the targeted card cannot be activated in response to Gyoko's activation. This means in direct response, so the next chain link. Gyoko's chain link 1. Let's say I activate Gyoko from my hand, chain link 1, and I target what would be, let's say we're playing against Chainburn, the opponent has Just Desserts, face down. That's the one I'm targeting. So they cannot chain Just Desserts to make a chain link 2. However, let's say they have Secret Barrel also face down, then they could chain Secret Barrel to Gyoko's chain link 2, and then chain Just Desserts to that as chain link 3. And because Just Desserts is not in direct response to Gyoko, it does work. So here's your ruling lesson for this video, I guess. 3 MSC just got rid of face downs. I prefer that over them not being able to be used, even if that costs them like 1 space. I prefer just having them destroyed. 3 Duality to search, because I don't special summon too often. I guess quite a few of things, like not especially Wolfberg, they do special summon, but I don't need to special summon every turn. I can use Duality for a nice search. Book of Moon rounds off the spells. I have then Bottomless, and I have Compulse, and I have 1 Prison, 2 Fiendish Chain, 1 Tenken. In that rated game I talked about just now, a few days ago, Tenken saved my butt. I had like this really big monster, and then and the opponent was like, I use like, what was it, Dark Hole or whatever, and I'm like, nope, Tenken, I win. You can't touch me. So yeah, that was good. Tensen for a nice boost. 300 attack is nice, but then also another 700 added to that for 1 turn is also really nice. You can use this in damage step, so I really, really like that one. Just to use it in the damage, just like you would with like Honest. This is like sort of a rush recklessly with an extra bonus. So yeah, I like Tensen. Having some fun in damage step. 1 Mirror Force, 1 Solemn Warning, and then a Torrential Tribute to round off the main deck. Then the extra, as I said, I have Brotherhood, the 5th Kirin. I haven't actually summoned him in the good amount of duels that I've had with this deck, because I do really like this deck. It's not that difficult to learn either. Like certain decks, like with the Dragon Rulers, it took me quite a long time to really get used to them. Same with spellbooks, even though I still don't really know how to properly play spellbooks. But 5th are really easy to learn. So I was able to get a good amount of duels in. Kirin, I don't see him being used that often. I don't think its effect is great either. I just put it in there because it was just the other level 8 fire synchro that I thought was useful. Because if you just go here to all possible ones you can also get Blackbird Drago, which can only be summoned with a Gemini monster, but I don't have any Gemini monsters in my deck. And then Thermal G-Nex, only with G-Nex controller, and I don't have G-Nex controller in my deck, so that only leaves Kirin and Crimson Blader. Now, I do have Gagaga Cowboy as my first Xyz, then 2 Abyss Dweller, because Boojins are still a thing. They won DNYCS 4, which I also participated in. I didn't do too well, but whatever. 5/5 got 4 of the top 8. Boojins, there was only 1 Boojin deck in the top 8, but I did win, so congratulations to the amateur who won with Boojins. I have 1 Cardinal. That one also really helped in the duel a few days ago. 1 Maestroke, 1 Exciton Knight, 1 Diamond Dire. I didn't really like using Diamond Dire in a deck that doesn't have Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast, but there's quite a lot of Beast Warriors in this deck, so makes Diamond Dire more useful. Silent Honor Arc, because it's just a good card. Black Ship Accord can be useful in some situations. Tiger King is the Xyz that you'll go into most, that you'll also have the most chance of, that you'll have multiple of them. And then I have Bujinte Kagutsuchi. Now, I know I'm not running any Bujins, so that part of the effect won't work, but if it succeeds someone, you send the top 5 cards of the deck to the grave. You don't really use that too much, although you can then like send Bear or Dragon or whatever and then summon it back with Wolfbark, so in that sense you can use that effect. You don't get a bonus attack because of Bujins, but it says if a Beast Warrior type Bujin monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can detach and exceed material from this card instead of destroying one of those monsters. Bujinte Kagutsuchi is a Bujin, is Beast Warrior type, so therefore can save itself. It's sort of like Maestro and Silent Honor Arc in a sense that it can save itself from any kind of destruction, both battle and by card effect. And because it's Beast Warrior, it also gets the boost from Tenken, from Tensen, from Tenki, from Tensu, and from Gyoko. So, I don't use it too often, but it can definitely be a really nice card to play with. Now, I did think of a nice side deck for this. I have 2 Banisher of the Radiance, 2 Nobleman Crossout. Haven't actually cited that in, but Smashing Ground sometimes nice. Debunk for certain decks. Imperial Iron Wall for decks that banish a lot. Light Imprisoning Mirror in case you want to, in case you play against light monsters. Bujins. This card, I forget its name, but it's really good for mirror matches. I do believe that it says if the opponent activates a card activates a card, and you have that same card in your graveyard, then you negate the activation of the opponent's card, destroy it, and then add the card from your graveyard to your hand. So like if you're playing, so if I'm mirror matching against Fire Fist and the opponent's like, yeah, Fire Formation Tenki to get a new boar, and I'll get bear, and I'm like, nope, because I have a Tenki in my grave from like my bear's effect earlier. So I'm like, oh, retort, not gonna work. So I negate the activation, destroy it. Their Tenki doesn't work, they don't get the search, and I get a Tenki in my hand, which is gonna give me a search, is gonna give me some extra attack, is gonna get me new monsters. So that's nice. And then Soul Drain finally, also sort of Bujin. It can counter other things as well, but Bujins, I guess it works against Mermills as well, but really Bujins is probably what it's mostly used for. Now I do have Banish of the Radiance here now that I think about it, so like in case I side him in, I'm just gonna check the level 7 Fire Synchros, which would be Black Rose Dragon, which if I use Banish of the Radiance would be summonable with Boar. And seeing as I've never summoned more than 1 Crimson Blader, I'm now going to take out Kirin and throw in Black Rose Dragon, just in case I side in Banisher of the Radiance and get both Boar and Radiance out at the same time. Might be useful. Right, that was my Fire Fist deck. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something from the Gyoko ruling, I guess. And then I will see you in the next deck profile video, which will be Machina Gadgets. See you then.